Live?
Okay, we're going to start with
Hi, Bot Radio Network friends. This is Byron Tyler, and we're on that inaugural road trip to the Holy Land that we've been telling you about, and we're having a great day on day number 2. Mana, you said that we're at a place called the Kibbutz?
This is a kibbutz. There are many of them in Israel, and this particular one is one of my favorites because it's very artistic. You can see some of the statues and the palm trees and everything around us.
Why don't we have Martin kind of do a little pan there, Martin? You can see some of the items and the artwork on display all around us. This is a beautiful location that we're at, and we're just very close to Caesarea Philippi, I believe.
Yes, we just left there, and you know what, Byron? That is such a special place. It's phenomenal because that is the place where the Lord asked, "Who do men say that I am?" And that is the most important question that anyone could ever ask you. And then he asked Peter, he said, "Who do you say that I am?" And Peter said, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God." And really, you know, we had a wonderful devotion there and prayer time, and it was just very meaningful for the whole group. And that is the most important question anyone in your life could ever ask you, Byron.
It is, and in Jesus' response, said, he told Peter, "You answered correctly." And that's where he made the comment that is so powerful, and it came more to life. What did Jesus tell Peter?
He said that that has not been revealed to you by man, Peter. That came from God. And so, and on this rock I will build my church, talking about the faith of Peter, not Peter himself, but Peter's faith became the rock of the Christian, the foundation of the Christian faith.
Yeah, and he said, "And the gates of hell, the gates of Hades will not prevail." And that has such a powerful moment there for us because we were just outside the cave of the god of Pan.
Yeah.
And there were actually human sacrifices offered in that place during the time of Christ. And many believe that when Jesus, because he walked that area there in Caesarea Philippi, believed that's what Jesus was talking about right there when he referred to that, because that was considered the gates of hell. There was an opening in the rock. Water would go through, and they would offer human sacrifice there. And on the other side, if they saw blood, they would continue to do that till they didn't see any. And that was their belief. And I'll tell you, what a I just
gives
can't
you
even,
chills, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's very moving to be in that area.
Yes.
And also to think that that's where Jesus walked with his disciples.
Exactly. And you know, Byron, when he left that area, Caesarea Philippi, when he left there, that was the end of his ministry in the Galilee. He went south to Jerusalem, and we all know what happened then. He knew where he was going, and he was trying to explain that to the disciples who really resisted that information. But he went south from there. And you know, something else, Byron, that I want to point out is in Israel, there's really only 5 or 6. I've done the research. There's 5 or 6, maybe 7 even, places where you could actually say Jesus walked on this in this place right here. This is it. Well, Caesarea Philippi is one of those places. He actually was there on that place. Now they've paved over the dirt and so forth and so on in 2,000 years, but that's where he was walking, and that water that's still coming out there it was happening then too. The same,
and that's another thing I wanted to bring out. That's another wonderful thing, because that water you're talking about is the spring from Mount Hermon, which Mount Hermon is at 10,000 feet, one of the highest mountains there. And water rolls off of that into this spring, which actually is the beginning of the Jordan River, which we know ends up in the Dead Sea. But we're learning so much here. We have a guest, too, we want to introduce.
We do. This is a very good friend of mine, and she's from Branson, Missouri, has a fantastic business there. And Sue, come on and tell us what you think so far about this.
Sue, it's good to see you. I just recognize that Sue and I have been together before with Bot Radio, because she is at ABC Campground in Branson.
Yes.
And Susan, you and your husband are here. What do you think about this trip so far?
Oh, this has been amazing to actually put things in perspective, where one thing is to another. In reading the Bible, it feels like it's a million miles away, and it's not. It's all right in this area. It's just amazing to put it all together.
Okay, we've only been here for 2 days now. What has stood out to you so far?
Yeah, that's overwhelming. I don't know. The proximity of things. I mean, to put it where you actually can see it, and you can visualize people walking from one place to the other, which didn't register with me.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. And so you and your husband together, this must be really kind of special for you to share these moments together.
It is. This year's our 30th wedding anniversary, so this is kind of what we've done to celebrate, even though it's not till December. That's okay.
That's okay. Congratulations. Thanks, Sue.
Thank you.
Look forward to you enjoying more time here on this Bot Radio Network trip.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
Facebook.
All right, yeah. What about Monica?
The other thing I want to mention is the food here in this kibbutz is incredible. I mean, it's so fresh. Didn't you love the food, Sue?
I did. Some of it, I'm not sure what it was, but it was very good.
But it was tasty.
It was very tasty.
Anyway. And then I have two other friends with me here in Israel. I have Ted and Shirley Nurbus, and we have been friends, I think it's over 50 years. We've gone to church together. I love them. They're both retired math teachers, and they live in, Shirley, is it Ozark or Sparta? Which? Out in the country. Let's just say out in the country. And let's get their perspective.
Yeah, okay. You got two math teachers living together. Who takes care of the checkbook and the finances?
Oh, he does.
What so far has been your impressions of being here in Israel?
Oh, I've loved it. I've loved the people and the food and the places and the connections to the scripture, and it's just been a good spiritual experience and very mind-boggling at the same time.
Very much so. And how about for you, Ted?
Well, I'd have to say just about all the same. It's hard to point out just any one thing. It's just kind of overwhelming. A lot to take in just a short while.
Okay, tell me about that lunch you just had. I saw your plate was packed.
No, you didn't. Fabulous. I mean, they fix a feast everywhere we've been, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, a feast.
Yeah, it's been so delicious. Well, thank you so much, and hope you will continue to enjoy the trip. This is only day 2. Can you believe it? We've done so much.
We have.
Yeah. Well, Mana, this has been great, and we want to remind you that we'll be bringing you these feeds throughout our time here in Israel. And we're only here for, I think, 7 or 8 days, but this is day 2. Be sure and continue to listen, watch on Facebook, and please share the post on this inaugural Bot Radio Network trip here in the Holy Land. I'm Byron Tyler.